Bonjour, peeps. That's hello. Hello, peeps in Potawatomi. This is Neshi Locotts. Welcome to Star Nation's organization's main fan page here on Facebook, where we do a daily live stream for the card draw for the day. What does that mean, right? That means that just about every day I draw a card, a divination card, an oracle card, to see what is the most important energy that we should know about today for the highest good, right? And I started sharing them here on Facebook live stream on our Star Nations. I think the fan page is Radio Network Magazine and Publishing. And so just so that we have a chance to connect with our community. And I started sharing it actually first on Instagram and then brought it here thinking that maybe our community members would like to know a little bit more about the background of the card draw and also to have a spiritual conversation, right? So today is Monday, September 24th, and we just came off of a really busy weekend. That's kind of why I wasn't around this morning for a morning time frame for the live stream. We here at Star Nations Academy, which is where I'm broadcasting from, we had a class here over the weekend. It was called Hogwarts, The Magic of Hogwarts. And I co-taught that with my good sister friend, Minnie Kansman, who left this morning to go back to Michigan. And I got to spend some time with her sister, Anne, and Anne was so very helpful. She helped with George. She helped with Mom. She was in the class. It was a good weekend. We had a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun. We had some really good people here, people that I hadn't met here in Toma yet. And you know, it's a really small town. And so, but we hadn't met. And then, but majority of the people that were here were from Michigan, which is I was very grateful that they made the drive all the way over here for this class. I think the part that I liked the most out of the whole weekend on the classes, there were a few really high, the high points, the things that you'll never forget, right? We taught a piece about divination and using Ted Andrews' technique that he wrote in one of his many books. And it's using a bathroom tile, and watercolor paint and making your own divination cards. For those of us that are studied psychology and were psychology majors, they're kind of like Rorschachs in a way. But they're really very cool, and that was neat. I also really liked the forest therapy piece that Minnie Kansman led, the last piece of the weekend on Sunday, right here on our property. And, to be able to actually slow down, right, and to appreciate what's around us, that was very cool. Yeah. Hey, Amy Daniels, I'm so glad to see you in the chat room. And Anne's here. Hey. Hi from Ann and Minnie. We are just in Michigan now, and yay, pure Michigan, right? Did you go underneath the sign already? Yeah, what is that, M21? No, M36? Something like that. I'm glad you guys are in Michigan. I was taking a look at the time, and I thought, they should be coming up close to Lowell, Grand Rapids area maybe, as they wing their way to Lyons, Michigan. And George was a hit. Hey, good afternoon, Cindy Lynn. George was a hit, of course. Who doesn't like a puppy, the baby? He had a house full of aunties to take care of him, to play with him. Paul's twin sister, Heidi, was also here on Saturday and Sunday. And she is I want to call her a freelance photographer. She's had this, it's more than a hobby, had this ability and gift for photography ever since I've known her, and I've been with Paul for 40 years. And so she brought one of her good cameras and started taking pictures of George. And I think some of you might have seen some of the pictures about George over the weekend. So he's again Facebook famous, right? Right now he's settling down and he's going to sleep. He hasn't slept much today. Yeah. Hey, Jackie. I'm so glad you're in the chat room on this Monday afternoon. And on a Monday afternoon, I have iced tea this afternoon. You know, we were really blessed with really good weather here over the weekend. It got cool at night, you know, like down into the upper 30s, lower 40s. But during the day, it was like, you know, 69, 70 degrees. And so it was really good. The mosquitoes aren't so bad because we've had a couple really cold nights. So they're not as bad, right? Amy's saying, whoa, Paul has a twin sister? Yeah. He has a twin sister. She's saying, cool, from one twin to another. Yep, that's right. You know, it's a special part of the population, right? And yeah, Paul and his twin sister, you know, they get along really well. And although, you know, they say that they don't sense each other or, you know what the other one is thinking or something like that. You know what? I wish I had it closer to me. I want to show you something, okay? Hang on. I got to get it off the altar. I want to do a special thank you. And I'm going to write her something, a little something too. Cynthia Jones. She had intended to come to the class quite a while ago, but she had surgery, you know, and wasn't able to come. But she sent me a gift. And this is what she sent me. It's an angel holding a drum. Isn't that gorgeous? So Cynthia Jones, catchy me gwitch. That's a very large thank you. Very large thank you for sending me this beautiful gift. I've never seen one like this before. Have you? An angel holding a drum. Look at that. I have to find a nice place for it. Some place where I'm going to see it a lot. It's very, very nice. Minnie was the messenger. She brought it from Michigan, and so thank you so much, Cynthia. I really do appreciate it a lot. Thank you. So I hope you guys had a good weekend. Because it was a good one around here. It's a good one around here. So here is the card that was drawn today. Okay. It says, I'm constantly evolving into a more spiritual person. I'm constantly evolving into a more spiritual person. On the backside, if you're evolving into a more loving, more compassionate, less violent person, then you're moving in the right direction, right? In the right direction. Yeah, when I read this card this morning, I thought to myself that there are so many people that I know that are not just taking classes, but actually applying. It's more than just studying, right? In this energy, it's more than studying. Yes, it's good to go to classes, but it's more important that we start applying what we've learned, the tools that we've added to our toolbox, to our toolkit, right? And with that, we have this evolution because we prepare for these new tools, these new allies that helps us to express our gifts that we brought in with us that we're using every single day. And so the tools, the lessons, the classes, all of that helps us to express our soul. And so, you know, in Star Nation's community, we're doing this a lot. I think I really do. You look at the comments on Facebook, you look at the comments on Instagram, you know, the messages that I receive, personal messages, really do not just indicate, but it is an and seeing that feeling of the evolution. Um, you know, sure, I still have those SOS calls from clients or from students, saying I'm having a really bad day, or I don't know what's going on with me. I don't feel very grounded. I tried everything I can. I just don't feel like me. There's always those aspects, those times when we have those really huge soul growth times, and we end up in those moments of the dark night of the soul, right? And so reaching out to friends and mentors and family, it's a good thing, so that we can help remind you of the special soul that you are. I know, isn't that a really pretty angel? I've never seen one with holding a drum before, and so it's very special. I love it. Got to find a special place for it. I'm going to try to use it up here in the academy, I think. I don't know. We'll have to see where this angel would like to take up residence here. So do you feel, audience, those in the chat, do you feel that you are a constantly evolving spiritual person? I see it every day in our community when we reach out for assistance, either for ourselves or for others. When we make those prayer requests, right? When somebody is ill, or somebody's going to have surgery, or maybe they've just lost a beloved. Whether that beloved has walked on, they've crossed over, whether it's a two-legged or a four-legged, or a one who flies, a bird, that we reach out and we share that. And there's always a huge response for the prayers, and the helpful dialogue when it comes to grief, and helping each other through it with kind words, right? And some people actually have experienced something very similar, so they can share what worked for them when they were in that spot. And so for me, that's what community is all about, and that we're each other's witness to the spiritual growth. Yeah. And just because we're evolving every single day, and using our gifts better and better each day, doesn't mean that we're not human. We're evolving. We're ascending. Our frequency is changing and shifting into a higher frequency, right? And what does that happen? Because that means that you're more loving, you're more compassionate. And for some people, less violent. Less violent. I kind of smiled at that one, because what are some of the phrases that we use, and you don't hear them very as often as we used to, but they're still out there. Getting on my last nerve, right? Slapping somebody silly. There was one that I think I want to say it was Bill Cosby in one of his stand-up routines, when he was talking to his children. I brought you into this world and I can take you out. Those are all, they're said in jest, but sometimes, you can feel that underlying violence, right? And it also indicators, I should say, what we watch on television, and what kind of music do we listen to, right? Yeah. Now, I like some good classic rock, right? We were talking about bands the other day in the chat. Rob Kendall was in the chat, and he's a musician, so he knows these bands, and he was throwing out names from the 70s and that sort of thing. So we still like rock and roll. We still like country rock. We still like all that stuff, but it doesn't have to be lyrics that are violent, right? Um, yeah, we were talking about music in class over the weekend, and ow, George is awake. Those baby teeth are sharp. He's sleeping underneath my chair. I moved my foot and I must have disturbed him. Wait, I got to show you this. Part of the class was to use our intuition, right? Building our trust in our intuition. And Minnie led us part of the class to make a wand. And so connecting to the spirit, the energy of the trees here, and to go out and to select a branch, right? And when she she was showing them wands in different stages. Her wand is complete. I'd been working on a wand for a few years, and it's near completion, right? I got to complete it this weekend. And then George, my puppy, has his own wand, and so she's so this is George's wand. He's been working on it. You can see the teeth marks in it. And so we added it to the class, right? So George was able to share his wand with everybody. So he's working on it right now. So where was I? So I digressed. That's what happens when you're a bit tired. You're a bit tired. Hey, Elise Miller's in the house. Good afternoon, Elise. Anne says, punch you in the face. That's another one. Or what's that one? It was like you tell somebody to shut up, because they said something, that you just unbelievable, right? And you just say, shut up. Yeah, that's actually a little violent. Anne is saying the comment from Minnie, Anne is driving. Oh, okay. Hi, Minnie. Did you see it? I just showed George's wand. He's working on it as we speak. So, yeah, that we're less and less violent. We don't usually say those kind of phrases anymore, not very often. And we realize that the thoughts and the words that we use, right? When we're evolving into a higher frequency, getting closer and closer to our original song, that we're really aware, we're consciously aware of the words that we use, the phrases we use, the tone we use. Yeah, we're much more aware of it in the words we use. Don Miguel Ruiz, what he says about the word is sacred, right? The word is sacred. And not to take things personally, is another one. But anyway, the words are sacred. And why are they sacred? It's because we have our breath behind it. And our breath comes from the Creator. And so the words that we speak, and then the thoughts that we have that create the words, right? Those become real. Our thoughts become real. And so it's important that we're consciously aware of our thoughts. Because once we speak it, it's out there, right? The vibration is out there. I spend some time deleting thoughts, deleting words, phrases, sentences. When you don't want to create something, right? You say it, and it's like the vibration's already out there. And so what I do is I just say, I'm talking to my team, my spiritual team. It's like, please delete that last thought, the thought about, or delete that thought, delete that sentence, because it's no longer out there then in the universe, going out into that part of the universe that's formless, that creates the form, right? Yeah. So that's evolving. It's when we're conscious. Amy's laughing at George's wand. And Donna is saying, so true. Amy said, this is a whole brand new set of words and voice tone that need to be used with high school and college kids. Yeah, yeah, um, I was going to say, they're evolving too. Everyone is. Everyone is. Everyone who is breathing, walking around. Um, and, we role model those things, right? We role model them for other people, and especially children. So when you see a child who is kind and is thoughtful and treats people that way, you know that chances are somebody's role modeling that for them, so that that it's innate, so that they can bring it out into the physical world, right? Yeah. Donna says, love this idea. Well, thank you. And Amy says, I have to remember to delete that thought thing. I know. I know. There's days when I use it quite often, because we're human, right? But when we're consciously aware of it, that's the important thing. That's the important thing, because we're awake. We're awake and conscious of our actions, of our words, so that the consequences are positive consequences, and not the cosmic 2x4, right? Yeah. Even what we watch on television. Yeah, I'm laughing because I was thinking about yesterday. We were done with the class, and we were done cleaning up here and breaking down the classroom and turning it back into a studio. And we're completely done, and we're back down at the house. Um, and Paul was watching football, but he wasn't around, so I don't remember even what we had on, because we were just gonna relax. We were gonna catch a movie or something. We wanted something funny, something that was going to make us laugh, right? So we started watching Grace and Frankie on Netflix, and yeah. Now, there's a couple things in there that was said and done that could have been taken, as a mildly violent kind of situation. But there were other things that were just hilarious, and that's what we needed. We needed to laugh and to relax, right? Yeah. So we still have to watch. I mean, like, there's no cage fighting on at my house. No, nothing like that on TV. Football is marginally okay. Paul's the one who watches it, and my mom watches. Many times they will have a football game on. She's watching her team, he's watching his team, and I'm off someplace in another room, probably usually working on Star Nation stuff. Um, or if I have a chance to read, right? So yeah, so it's marginally okay. Yeah, and I have to say that we even try to watch how we phrase things with George, with the puppy. I know saying no, just kind of automatically pops out of your mouth when he's trying to gnaw on a cushion on the couch. And then trying to replace it with something else, right? A different toy, something that's going to help him feel better on his mouth. He got introduced to ice cubes this weekend, and I think it was on Thursday night or Friday. I don't remember which, but it was like he got addicted. All he had to do was hear the drawer to the freezer open, and he was right there waiting for his ice cube, and couldn't get ice out for her soda without George wanting one too. And so yeah, those aunties took care of him and taught him about ice cubes, which is good. I mean, it probably felt really good on his baby teeth that are teething, and now he's out. He's sleeping. You can tell when George is tired, because his ears are back and he sleeps on his back. That's when he's out. And that's what he's doing now. So, yeah. All right, so back for those people who just joined us, this is the card that was drawn today. I am constantly evolving into a more spiritual person. A more spiritual person. Hey, Sister Christine's in the house. Christine Pollock. Welcome, Christine. So good to see you in the chat room. On the back side, it says, if you're evolving into a more loving, more compassionate, less violent person, then you're moving in the right direction. In the right direction. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just had a memory kind of float through. Early days. Early days. I want to say probably late 20s. Late 20s. It would have been like maybe 1982. That's how long ago it was. All right. Paul and I were down in Oklahoma. He was taking his officer's basic course, and pretty busy he was. I was trying to keep myself busy and not bored, right, in the apartment, because we only had taken one vehicle with us, and usually he had the vehicle. Unless I took him in, then I had to get up like at 4 a.m. to drive him in and pick him up, like around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But, we were young, we were in our 20s and learning how to communicate to each other. And he's always worn baseball cap hats, always. And he usually finds these pins to put on them, like, I don't know, usually has something to do with the military on the hat. And I don't remember even what he did, but I was not happy with him. And I remember taking his hat and using the door, or the apartment front door, and slamming the door on his hat. I laugh at it now, but in the moment, I was really upset. And now that is violent. And that is something that I grew out of. And I remember sharing it with him because he looked at his hat and he said, what happened to my hat? And so I told him, and he says, oh, well, okay, so you were really angry, and I said, yeah, I was. And so we had a chance to sit down and talk about it. But things like that, when you're young, you don't always think about the repercussions, the consequences of those thoughts and those words and those actions, right? And when I look back at it, it was really about communication. It really was to be able to sit down and communicate with your partner what your needs are and your expectations and those kinds of things, because they can't read everything about you and your mind. They certainly can read your facial expressions, your body language, and that sort of thing. But to have good communication, right? And so that's what we were learning at the time. Yeah. Yeah. Amy's going, George, out. Yes, that is it. Julie Hedges is here. Hi there. She says, glad I'm able to jump on even if I'm late. Oh, Julie, you're never late. It's always right on time, right? You're right time, right place. Right time, right place. That's what I always tell myself. Yeah. And this would be Minnie. She's saying, hey, Christine. Hey, Julie. She says, Minnie and Ann listening from the road. Yeah. I normally do at 10 o'clock Central Time, right? And Ann and Minnie left here, it was right around 8 o'clock or so. And I thought, okay, I got 2 hours. As soon as George fell asleep, I jumped in the shower, ran through the shower, had to take care of Mom. And I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking, I feel pretty stressed out with trying to rush through everything. I'm just going to move the live stream video to the afternoon and just kind of give myself a little bit more time to get promotions done, because I needed to get show promotions done for this week. And so I started working on those this morning. So, doing that's a little self-care. to stretch that out. And knowing that Anne and Minnie were going to be close to home when the live stream started. So I'm kind of glad you guys are able to listen from the road. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That is. All right. Let me take another drink here. Some more tea. No ice cubes. I wasn't going to open up the refrigerator drawer. So the thing about being awake consciously, right? Awake consciously, is that we're given opportunities. Spirit brings us opportunities for that growth. And there's so much more fun when we get them and we recognize them when they're little, smaller, right? When we see those synchronicities, the triple numbers, that kind of stuff. When we get the divine inspiration, right? The tap on the shoulder. When you can hear the phone ring before it rings, that kind of thing. So we're listening to our intuition. We're fully aware. We're as aware as we can be. That's a part of the evolution, because that means that when those opportunities are knocking for soul growth, and we answer it, many times when they're little like that, they can be so much fun. They can actually be joyful. It's when we ignore them, when we look the other way. It's like, or when I see the numbers 333 again, I think, I don't want to make any more decisions. Not right now. I can wait. And you start to procrastinate. And it's when we start doing that kind of stuff that Spirit brings it to us in a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more bigger way each time, until it gets pretty big and you can't dismiss it anymore. You can't deny that it's there, that it's so much in your face that you have to do something about it, right? And many times that's when it's not comfortable, it's not pleasant, it's not fun. Yeah. So when we're consciously awake and we are growing, we're evolving through those life lessons that are brought to us. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of a call that I got from somebody from the community, and they don't live anywhere near me. They're out there in the United States and having issues with a teacher who I don't know, really challenged them and was actually kind of a bully to them. And and it's hard not to take those kinds of things personally sometimes. And so she was venting. She was venting about wanting to make sure that everybody knew about it at their school, and that that justice gets served, right? And letting her not repress her anger and her hurt, and in some cases even shame, because that's what he was trying to do to her, was shame her. And so talking about it and talking that through, and actually having somebody who was willing just to listen, that I didn't walk into the situation thinking I was going to fix it, because it's not up to me to fix. And yeah. So, as days passed and after that initial conversation, and she realized that he was providing an opportunity for her to stand up for herself verbally, in a way that had a higher vibration. And so, sometimes we just need to be able to talk to somebody, to be able to see, to get a perspective. especially when those opportunities come around, and they're much bigger than, because we've not handled them. We haven't done our part in it. And yeah, so it's good. It's good to have people in your inner circle who are there when you need to bounce something off from them, to help you see it from maybe a wider or higher perspective. Um, and you know, and they're not trying to fix it for you. They're not trying to tell you what to do. They may make suggestions. Have you tried this, or have you tried that? Did you remember to do, to use the oils, or um, did you did you remember to call on your spiritual team? Those kinds of things, as reminders. It still means you're evolving. We all need help every once in a while. Yeah. So that's what I got to say about that. It's like, it's stuff that we've talked about before here, right? I just realized something. I'm going to turn the camera just a little bit so you can see this. Do you see that wall in the background? I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. Because our class, the title of it was The Magic of Hogwarts, and Minnie found the stick-on acetate wall sayings. Yeah, doesn't it look good there? Yep, I solemnly swear. We also had T-shirts like that, Minnie and I. We wore them on the first day. It was fun. It was fun. I solemnly swear. So, what do you guys think about that? The evolution of the soul. Evolution of the soul. The evolution of the soul into a more loving, more compassionate, less violent. That means you're moving in the right direction. Yeah? Do you feel as if you're evolving? You've done that? Yeah. That is cool, isn't it? Isn't it, Amy? Yeah. I'm going to leave it up because I like it so much. We're going to see it again. Yeah. And I just got one or two more things I want to do to finish up the bathroom. And then what I'm going to do is use my phone and do a live stream so you guys can see the finished product. The finished product, yeah. Yeah. And I have to say that the academy worked out so well for this past class, this past weekend. Yeah, we had more than enough room, and we had all our stuff. Minnie and I have a lot of stuff to use when we teach, and so we had plenty enough room to lay those out, and still have room to be able to move around, right? Yeah, even with this room, even with this academy, it was an evolution, and drawing on all of my tools, all of my gifts, and Paul too, doing the same thing, to actually bring this into the physical world, right? And and when you look around, when I look around, I had words of power written on the walls in the same color paint. It's a little feng shui and space clearing that I used, and the crystals that are embedded in the concrete. Words of power written onto the concrete before it dried. All of that stuff, all of it consciously done. And even the ceremonies we did for the trees and the land before we even cut a tree. And so, we layered upon layer upon layer. And the reason I'm even telling you this is because it's a part of that evolution. It's a part of that evolution. There's so many people who, like our neighbors next door, I haven't met them yet. They just bought the house next door. We knew the lady who lived there before. She walked on, I think, 2 years ago. And we went up and introduced ourselves right to her, and she was elderly, and she walked on, and they just sold the house, I want to say probably about 8 months ago. And so the new neighbors we haven't quite met yet, but it'll be interesting to meet them, and because they've cut a lot of trees around their house. Now I know it's their property and they have every right to do whatever they want to do. But I always think and just saying a little prayer, sent in that direction for the tree people, the standing ones, thanking them for what they did for the neighborhood. Yeah. And so, some people, and I'm not saying my neighbors did this, but it's just an example, is that some people, they will do that kind of landscaping kind of stuff, or the clearing of property, without considering those other living relatives there, right? And so, and a conscious, evolving individual soul does think about those things and plans it out, or helps someone to do that. So, yeah. All righty. Well, what I say just about every live stream, one is, I usually ask you guys to share and like it. I forgot again. I don't know why I don't do that for this live stream. I do for the other shows, but when it comes to this one, I totally forget. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because I haven't made it created an actual show around this live stream. That's probably why. At any rate, whatever you have heard today about the essence, the energy for the day, about being a evolving spiritual person, whatever resonated with you, whatever it was, embrace it, pick it up and embrace it, and notice how that essence or that spirit, how it flowed to you today, how it unfolded for you today, or will continue through the evening. And just notice if you were a direct participant or a witness to it, because either way we're learning, right? And being grateful for the opportunity to have that experience, to learn, to experience it. Soul growth. And if it didn't resonate with you, that's okay. You can just let it lie. It's all right. You could be the messenger, right? You could know somebody who would enjoy the conversation or the information. Maybe has been looking for it, didn't know where to find it, and you can share the link to the recorded live stream for them. Be the messenger. And a mosquito just flew by. They're, in fact, no, I missed them. In fact, when you're a messenger, you're kind of bearing witness to it, right? Yeah. It's kind of like being a energy worker in a way, even though you might not consider yourself that. You might consider being an energy worker because you're sharing something that's going to help someone else. Right? So enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your Monday, and we'll see you back here. I'm going to say I'm going to be back in the morning at 10 a.m. Yeah, at 10 a.m. So for the next live stream, we're going to give that a whirl. We'll see. Tuesdays are usually pretty busy, so we'll see how that goes. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you back here. Bamamina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Love you guys.